Nathan Cruz with Carlson Software, here to show you our next topic in the Carlson Precision 3D Topo 2016 video series, which is importing survey data using our field to finish feature as opposed to doing a direct CRD or land XML points import. So what I'm going to do is it's using our thumbnail preview and now our upcoming 3D content preview. I'm going to go in and find a surface here that looks like it's got all of my edits and it's ready to go for an import. There we go. That looks pretty good. And so what I'm going to do is just drag and drop that onto the P3D window and close my content pane. And so what we're going to do is now use our field to finish feature. So I've already shown you how to import CRD files and polylines. Now we're going to import a CRD file, but as a using field to finish. And essentially what happens is the first time you open one of these up, you're going to see all of these codes and the undefined CRD definitions shown up. You could select one or more of those guys, and you could just drag it over to the field to finish code definitions, where you can then actually modify what you want to have happen for the sedan. So in this case, I'm going to leave it as a point, and I'm just going to bring in a simple vehicle. Again, I've already gone through and so initially when you bring these codes over for the first time, these will all be set to type category of tree. I'm sorry, of points. And you can multi-select and right-click, and you can change the code type itself from point to either polylines or trees. So obviously we're going to connect the dots. If it's a polyline, if it's a point, we can insert symbols. If it's a tree, we insert symbols, but we also scale the tree based on the height of the tree that was measured and the drip line. So in this case, I'm going to make sure that the building has my close feature on there, and you can also modify the colors and the properties. So I'm going to make my building outline something a little less white. Let's see, edge of pavement, we'll leave as bad. We have light poles for LPs. We've got our maples. Let's see, we've got our side shot points, and I'm not exactly sure what those are. So so what I'm going to do is delete that from my definition. And what that means, so basically I'm just going to be ignoring those little bits of information. So we can go through this as apparently white line, yellow line, so I've got white and yellow. Skid marks, probably good to leave as black lines there, that's fine. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit OK. It's going to ask me to save the settings that I just entered in. So the next time that I run field to finish, it's going to remember these categories and these particular code definitions. It's going to remember that ash is a tree and building is polyline, and then all the settings that we had for it. If you bring in additional data files that have other types of data types and codes, you're going to find that we'll automatically recognize the ones that are in your settings and bring them over here. And anything that we don't recognize from these new files will be in the undefined. And then basically you just multi-select or select each one, drag them over, or you can click on the button after you select them to add the CRD codes to the definitions. And then once they're in this section of the dialog, you can highlight them and you can change the type, whether it's a point, a tree, or a polyline, and then you can change the properties of each one of those. So I'm going to save these settings. A field to finish automatically creates a surface from the ground shots, but in this case, I already have a surface. And so now you can see we've got our surveyed power poles, we've got our lane striping, we've got our trees that were scaled based on the height and drip lines. We've also have car models that were shown up. So this was from an accident scene where vehicles were involved in an accident. Now by default, just to show you how to clean up some of these, so you notice that the different folder types here, we have the plus symbol inside of a circle. Those are points. The polylines look like a folder with this bolted lighting on them. But right now, so when we created that field to finish surface, even though it's close to this surface, it's not exact. So you notice that the polylines don't appear to be consistently on top of this surface. It's because they were draped to the previous surface and we just got rid of it. So what we want to do is clean that up by multi-selecting on all of our polylines in the scene. We're going to go down to properties. We have this base surface selected, and the draping mode, we're just going to go ahead and set that to drape to surface. And what that does is redrapes all of the polylines to this current surface. But there you have a quick introduction to our field to finish feature in Carlson Precision 3D Topo 2016.